In Belgium this morning, Vice President Mike Pence promised the U.S. will continue working closely with the European Union. Pence is holding a series of meetings with European and NATO allies. In the last few days, Defense Secretary James Mattis has visited 4 allies in Europe and the Middle East to smooth over the White House's message on foreign policy. Chip Reid looks at the effort by the president's most influential deputies to soften his rhetoric. Chip, good morning.
Well, good morning. While traveling overseas, top U.S. officials are finding it necessary to go out of their way to calm our allies, reassuring them that our commitments are unwavering.
President Trump came into office and has thrown now his full support to NATO.
On his first European trip as Defense Secretary, General James Mattis sought to reassure allies who heard this repeatedly on the campaign trail.
I will also be requesting that all NATO nations promptly pay their bills. The U.S. must be prepared to let these countries defend themselves.
This morning, General Mattis touched down in Baghdad for an unannounced visit to monitor the U.S.-backed war effort against ISIS. Shortly before his arrival, the Defense Secretary distanced himself from these remarks made by Mr. Trump last month.
I always used to say, keep the oil. I wasn't a fan of Iraq. I didn't want to go into Iraq.
We're not in Iraq to seize anybody's oil.
It underscores the challenge White House officials face overseas, balancing a cohesive U.S. message with a commander-in-chief who often speaks off the cuff.
This is President Trump's promise. We will stand with Europe today and every day.
Vice President Mike Pence was in Brussels Saturday, reassuring European allies of the U.S. commitment to their security, while Donald Trump was making this confusing assertion about recent terror in Europe.
You look at what's happening in Germany. You look at what's happening last night in Sweden. Sweden. Who would believe this? Sweden. They took in large numbers. They're having problems.
But there hasn't been a terror attack in Sweden since 2010. Mr. Trump's statement prompted this tweet from the former Swedish Prime Minister. Sweden? Terror attack? What has he been smoking? Questions abound. The president took to Twitter over the weekend to clear up any confusion about his statement on Sweden, saying he was actually referencing a report he saw earlier on Fox News, which referenced an increase of immigrants to that country. Gayle?
Chip, thank you very much.